Hi everyone and welcome back. So today we're going to look at 5.4 and this is called Select an Appropriate Display. All right, go ahead and put your name up at the top and your class hour and today's date. And go ahead and do the bell ringer by yourself, and then when you're ready, come back to me. All right, let's take a look. It says there are many different types of graphs that are used to display all kinds of statistical data. List all of the types of graphs you can think of. All right, so here are some that I came up with. These can be in any order. So we have a bar graph, of course. We have a line graph. We have a box plot, or sometimes it's called a box and whisker plot. We have a histogram. A circle graph. Sometimes people call it pie chart. And then also we have a line plot. Sometimes called a dot plot also. All right, so some of them have different names. All right, let's take a look at the next one. It says the graphs below display the total number of pounds of plastic recycled each week during a 10-week period in different ways. All right, and then I need to scroll down just a little bit more. Okay, on the line below, write the type of graph used. Okay, so this first one's actually called a histogram. Okay, it's not a bar graph. A bar graph, they don't, the bars are not supposed to touch each other. Okay, a histogram is, it shows an interval, meaning from 10 to 19, 20 to 29, and so on. So therefore, they actually touch, whereas a bar graph just shows categories. All right, and then this one over here, of course, we have a circle graph. So that was an easy one. All right, and then number 2. It says, which display more easily shows the number of weeks the class collected between 30 to 39 pounds of plastic? All right, so for this one, it would be easier to figure out that the histogram shows the frequency better, which is what it's supposed to do. Histograms show frequency of a interval. Okay, then number 3, which display more easily shows the percent of time that 40 to 49 pounds of plastic was recycled? Of course, with percentages, that would always be a circle graph. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the page. All right, so what are we going to learn for today? We're going to select and organize appropriate data displays. Select and organize appropriate data displays. All right, and then we're going to construct data displays. We're going to be making these. You're going to need a protractor. Oops. And a compass. And a pencil for sure, obviously. Okay, so you're going to need a calculator as well, I think, for this one on the later part, so go ahead and grab a calculator if you haven't already. So you're going to need a compass and a protractor and a calculator. You can actually get away with a protractor if you have one of the small ones, okay, like a very small one that's only about 3 or 4 inches wide. Okay, you can actually use that instead. All right, so let's take a look here. So the first part we're going to look at is just selecting appropriate display. So how do we know when we're supposed to use something? All right, Well, a bar graph specifically, shows the number of items or the frequency in specific categories. Okay, so it'd be like brown, red. Okay, so like colors or people or years. Okay, something like that, maybe even. And then a box plot shows measures of variation for a set of data, also useful for large sets of data. Okay, so we talked about box plots back in the last unit whenever we talked about, or the last part of the unit, whenever we talked about comparing populations back at the beginning. Okay, circle graphs compare parts of the data to a whole. Okay, in other words, this is the percent. Okay, let's write that here. And let's underline some key phrases. This is for categories. This one shows variation and large sets. Okay, circle graphs show percents. A double bar graph compares two sets of categorical data. Okay, so they're like male and female, or like in the hallway, sometimes Miss Mueller and I put up stuff where it's my class versus her class. Okay, those kinds of things. And then a histogram shows frequency of data divided into equal intervals. Okay, intervals is your key thing there. So it'll be like a range of something. So like from 0 to 10, from 11 to 20, from 21, and so on. Okay, however you set it up. And then a line graph shows change over a period of time. So let's underline period of time there. And then a line plot shows frequency of data with a number line. So frequency on a number line. So that's like those bar graphs, or it looks like a bar graph, but it's just a bunch of dots, or it's a bunch of X's on a number line. Okay, it kind of looks like little mountains going up and down. Okay, that's a line plot. All right, so we're just going to first select the appropriate one, and then we'll organize them also as we're going through. It says select an appropriate display to show the number of boys of different age ranges that participate in athletics. Okay, so let's look at some keywords here. We're going to look at age and ranges. Okay, so a range is another name for an interval. Okay, so which one should we show with intervals? That would be the histogram. Okay, and let's go ahead and write why. So they show frequency using intervals. They show frequency using intervals. Okay? And let's try the guided question by ourselves. It says select an appropriate display for the percent of students in each grade at a middle school. Okay, so we're going to find percent. Okay, so which one of those up at the top there talk about percents? That would be circle graph. Okay. The circle graph displays percents. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next page. All right, it says select an appropriate type of display to compare the percent of ethanol production by state. Justify your reasoning, then construct the display. What can you conclude from your display? All right, so let's take a look at our keyword here. It's percent. So what kind of a graph will we need to show a percent? That would be a circle graph. So a circle graph will help since it shows percents. Okay, now we're supposed to create one of these. This is going to get a little time consuming, and I'm going to try to do my best on here with my board. I haven't actually tried this on here yet. So just bear with me. If everything goes haywire, then just give me a minute and I'll try to fix it the best I can. All right. So what we need to do is first to make a graph. Okay, the first thing we have to do is we need to create the actual circle. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot down as much as I can here. I just need a little bit of the numbers showing, like right there. Okay. So I'm going to write the steps out for you. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to create a circle. All right, then we need to define the center. We're going to find the percent. We're going to check that the percent, oops, adds up to 100%. Then we're going to find the degrees. Oops, that's supposed to say degrees, sorry. And to find your degrees, you take your percent times 360. Okay, so we got a lot to do here. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create a circle. All right, so I'm going to use my protractor here, and I hope to God this thing works. All right, there we go. I need to make it just a little bit bigger. Go about right there, right here. Okay, now mine's kind of cool because it does all kinds of weird things. Okay, now my protractor may look slightly different than yours. For one thing, notice that my 0 does not start on the very edge. Okay, some people's it does, some people's it doesn't. For some of you, you'll have a hole in the middle. Some of you, you won't have a hole in the middle. Some of you, with this whole thing in the middle right here, where all those, looks like a sun rays coming out of it, sometimes those are going to be hollow. And others of you, those are going to be solid, and you're going to have lines in there like mine does. So every protractor is just slightly different, so you kind of have to get used to it and figure out what we're going to do. Okay, if you have all these smaller protractors, what we're going to do is we're going to make two separate arcs of 180 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to start right here on the 180, and I'm going to trace it around. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to spin the protractor around. Now you can also use a compass if you have a compass. Just be careful with it, because if you have one of the older kind, they are very sharp and they will hurt you. So please don't hurt yourself while you're doing that. So let me take this, and there we go. I need to spin it. So I'm going to take mine and rotate it around here, match it up with the 180 marks, just like that. Oh, it's at 178 degrees. I just saw that. Nope, it doesn't let me do that. I don't think it's going to let me. Okay, mine's just going to be off just a tiny bit. So I said I haven't tried to do it on here yet. All right. So first, make your circle. Okay, now we need to define the center, and to define the center, it's right there. Okay, I just put my dot on it. So I'm going to try to do it again, right about there, if it'll let me. Well, I'll get it here in a second. Okay, let me get the protractor out of the way here. Okay, there's my center. Okay, now we need to go through and find all the percents. Okay, so to find the percents, we need to figure out how much everything actually is. So we're going to go ahead and add all these up. So let's find our total. So we're going to take 3,534 plus 1,665 plus 1,135 plus 1,102 plus 1,074 plus 5,098. All right, so the sum, oh, you know, I'm going to have to write there here in a second. Let me do this different here. Let me write it. Let's see here. I'm going to do this. I'll write it over here. Okay, so the number that comes out to is 13,608. That's what we should have got. Okay, pause as you need to, guys. You guys already know that, but this is one where it is kind of hard to stay all together because some people it takes more time than others. Okay, so we're going to have 13,608. So now we need to find the percent. So we're going to divide each one. So we're going to take 3,534. We're going to divide that by the total, 13,608. All right. Now, try to round off the best you can. Just be mindful that if you're constantly rounding up every single time, you're going to have to just round down on some of them. All right, because you can't always round up because something eventually is going to be off. All right, so for like every one you round up, you need to round one down. For every one you round down, you need to round back up and so on. All right, try to even it out as much as you can. All right, so we're going to get 26% here. Okay, then we're going to take 1,665. We're going to divide that by 13,608. And that comes out to about 12%. And we're going to take 1,135 divided by 13,608. And that comes out to about 8%. Then we're going to take 1,102 divided by 13,608. And that also comes out to right at 8%. We're going to take 1,074 divided by 13,608. That also comes out to approximately 8%. And then the other is 5,098 divided by 13,608, which is going to be approximately 37%. Okay? So your percent is your state divided by 13,608. Oops. 608. Okay? Your state divided by 13,608. All right. Now, after we find the percents, we need to check the percents add up to 100%. So let's actually do that. So let's grab our calculators and see if they actually all add up to 100%. So if we look out, everything will work out perfect. So 26 plus 12 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 37 came out to 99%. So we're off by just 1%, which is okay. So let's check. Let me see which one we should probably change here. So let's do 5,098 divided by 13,608 again. Let's go ahead and round 37 up to 38% right here. Let's change that to 38%. And we'll definitely have it then. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to find our degrees. All right, so out to the side, I'm going to get rid of my protractor here and get this thing out of the way. Okay, I'm going to scoot down a little bit, and then I'm going to come back up later, okay, because I have it down on my paper too. All right, so I'm going to scoot down, and then I'll come back because you guys already have it on your paper. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take each percent, and we're going to multiply it by 360. All right, so we're going to do 26%. So that's going to be Iowa, which is, let's see, do we even have the same? Yeah, we'll have to use the, okay, so Iowa is going to be, so 0.26 times 360. And then Nebraska is going to be 12%, so 0.12 times 360. And we have Illinois, which is going to be 8%. Times 360. We have Minnesota, which is 8% again, so 0.08 times 360. Then we're going to have Indiana, which is also 8%. Oops, 0.08. There you go, 0.08 times 360. And then we have other, which we said was 38%, so 0.38 times 360. All right, let's go ahead and find all of these then. Okay, now we need our degrees to add up to 360, right? So let's make sure we kind of get that at the end there. So we're going to do 0.26 times 360, and it came out to 93.6. So we'll round that up to 94 degrees. Okay, then we're going to do 0.12 times 360. That's 43.2, and that's great because we rounded up on the last one, so this one will be okay then. So 43 degrees. Okay, and then Illinois was 8%, so 0.08 times 360. So these are all going to be, we'll say 29 apiece. So 29 degrees, 29 degrees, 29 degrees. And let's count up how much we got so far so we can see if we need to change one of those. So 94 plus 43 plus 29 plus 29 plus 29. I've got 224, so let's come back to that here in a minute. So 224. So 0.38 then times 360 is 136, so we're down to 137. What did I say the last one was? 234? 224. Okay, so 224 plus 137 at 361. So let's go ahead and, let's see, what was the last one that I just did? 0.38. Yep, let's just round it back down to 136. We'll keep the other one the same and round this one back down. Okay, so let's change this to 136. Okay, then everything should work out. Okay, so all of these need to add up to 360 degrees. Okay, if not, then we messed up. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of this on my phone so that way I can hold my phone and look back. There we go. Okay, then I can look back and forth. So you guys have it on your paper, so it's easy for you to see. I can only show so much on the screen here at one time. All right, here we go. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to first get our starting point. Okay, so I need to mark off where my 0 is. Okay, which I have. So there's my 0. My first measurement is going to be 94 degrees. Okay, 94 degrees. So whenever I do 94 degrees, I'm going to have to rotate my protractor around here. Okay, so we're going to spin this. It's kind of weird to do it like this. Well, of course, it's probably not going to work out exactly. Okay, here, I'll just erase my dot then. Let's see if I can undo my dot. Yep, I'll just undo my dot. There we go. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to mark 0 here. Okay, and then I need to mark off 94 degrees. All right, so for 94 degrees, I'm going to start at the 0. Okay, I'm going to use the inside number since I'm going counterclockwise. I'm going to mark off 94. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to work my way across. And 90 is right here. So that's 91, 92, 93, 94. So 94 is going to be right there. Okay, nope, that was 93, I think. It's hard for me to see it on here. 94 is right there. Nope, that was 95. There we go, 94. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to, no, wait a minute, I just marked 89. Shoot. 94. Okay, there, finally got it. All right, then what we're going to do is, and I have a little line drawer thing that helps me make straight lines here. We're going to connect those. So we're going to go from here over to here, like that. And then we're going to go from here down to there, and I messed up a little bit, so I'm just going to move mine just a little bit, right there, maybe. Lets me get right there. Okay, so there's my first one. All right, That was 94 degrees. Okay, so that was for Iowa, so let's go ahead and label that. So that's Iowa. And the percent was 26%. Okay, now we're going to do the next part. This is where some people get lost, so watch carefully here. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to line up your 0 again. Okay, and whenever you do that, you're going to have to spin your protractor. So this now becomes 0 over here. Okay, like that. Okay, see how my 0 is on the line we just made? That's where it has to be, and that's where some people get messed up because they're not like following enough directions here. So you got to really watch what you're doing here. Okay, on the next one then, it's going to be 43 degrees. So let me grab my pen here. I need 43 degrees. So we're using the inside numbers. Okay, so there's 41, 2, 3. Right there, I think. It's really hard to see on here. It makes it so small. Okay, I'm going to slide my thing out of the way. I'm going to get my line connector. We're going to go from the middle to my dot, maybe. Yep, right there. Okay. So that one was Nebraska, so we're going to label it with NE. And it was 12%. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to bring our protractors back. We're going to spin them again. I'm trying to do it electronically here. This is really weird for me to do it this way. All right, so next we have Illinois, which was 8%, and it looks like it's 29 degrees. Let me double check that on my phone. I think I can say it's 29. Yeah, 29. Okay, so then grab your pen. We're going to do 29, so that's 0, that's 10, that's 20, 25. So one mark, so right about there, maybe there. Yeah, right there. Okay, we're going to pull it away. Get my line connector here. And I'm going to go from the middle to the outside. Okay, so then that's going to be Illinois, which is 8%. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to bring our protractor back in. Get it measured up there in the middle. We're going to spin it. Reset it to 0, and then we're going to do it again. So this time we're going to do 29 again. So 29 degrees, be about right there. If I can see it. Okay, mine didn't show up too good, but we'll try it anyway. All right, then we're going to go here. About right there, I think. Okay, and the next state was Minnesota. So it's going to be MN and 8%. Okay, we're going to do the same thing one more time. We're going to make that one also 29. It's off by just a hair. Okay, I'll have to measure 1 degree less. Okay, and that one needs to be 29 degrees again. So, and my protractor is 1 degree off. So we're just going to have to do a 28 one on this one. There we go. I think it'll be okay. It's on 29, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, and then we'll go from the middle here to the outside. I'll just bring it back a little bit like that. There. Okay. And that one was Indiana. And then the other part should be 38%, which is supposed to consist of 136 degrees. Okay, so make sure you're using the degrees, okay? The common mistake is people start to use the percent. They get rolling and they try to do 8%. No. We're not doing percentages. Okay, you you label with the percent, you measure with the degrees. Okay, so 38% we said was 136. So let me get this lined up and see how close we were. I think we're pretty good. This is my first attempt doing this on the computer here, so I think this actually worked out pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to line up my 0 here and 136, and I am right on there, so I did it perfectly this time, okay, which is awesome because I can't believe it actually worked. All right, so we're going to move that then out of the way over here. Actually, I'm done with it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. We're going to close it. All right, so then the last one is called Other, and it is 38%. And there we go. Okay, so we now have our circle graph. Okay, and let's go ahead and give this thing a title, and we're just going to use the same one that it already has. It's called Ethanol Production by State per Year. Ethanol production by state per year. Sorry, kind of didn't center that up well, but that's okay. All right, and there we go. So we have our circle graph made. All right, so yeah, they are very, 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 very time consuming, but they're kind of neat once you get them all done. All right, so and if you went outside the lines like I did a few times, okay, you have like little markings and stuff sticking out. That's okay. All right, that's just inevitable. It's going to happen. All right, but if you do it correctly, everything should line up perfectly, just like it did for me. And again, I'm actually surprised that it actually worked, considering I'm doing an all electronic version this time around. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is on the back page. If you need to catch up, go ahead and pause, obviously. All right. And on the back, it says, the table lists the ticket prices from school musicals during recent years. Select an appropriate display to predict the price of a ticket in 2013. Justify your reasoning, then construct the display. What can you conclude from your display? All right, so for this one, we need to look at data over time. Okay, so for data over time, that means we're actually going to make a line graph. All right, so let's go ahead and write that in here. So we're going to do line graph, or line graphs, show data over time. Okay, so line graph show data over time. Okay, so we are going to make a line graph. I'm going to do this the very, very quick way. You're just going to need a straight edge, so you can use the straight part of your protractor. And I have a paper copy, so I am going to go ahead and scroll up. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I have a thing here that makes arrows for me, and I'm just going to make a very quick grid. All right, so let's take a look here. So we'll say about right there. Yes, that's straight. And then we're going to do another one. Oops. Let's do another one out here. I'm going to actually extend that to where it matches that one. Okay, then I'm going to use my straight one, and we're just going to go across here. So let's see, how much do we have to get up to? We need to get up to $7, so we'll do 8 lines here. So let's do one about here. So 1, 2, I know that's not straight, sorry. 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I know my lines are way off, but it's the best I can get for on here. It's hard to do all this on the computer. All right, so let's go ahead and label this. All right, so this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll have 8 way up here. Okay, this is going to be price, and this will be dollars, of course. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a title. This is called ticket prices. Okay, you just use the same one that they already gave you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. Okay, and then down here is going to be your years. And let's see, we only have 4 of them, so we can kind of go far down here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're at 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. All right, so let's graph this thing out. So in 2009, it was $5 for a ticket. So that'd be about right here. And then in 2010, it was $5.50 for a ticket. So that would be right here in the middle. And then in 2011, it was $6.50. About right there. And then for 2012, it was $7. About right there. Okay, let's go ahead and connect them. And that's it. Okay, so what can you conclude from your display? And they want us to predict how much about it will be in 2013. So in 2013, so it went up 50 cents, and then it went up $1, and then it went up 50 cents. So if our pattern continues, it should go up $1 this time. All right, on or no, I'm sorry, 50 cents. It should it went up $1, then 50 cents, $1, 50 cents. So it should go up another $1. So it should be about $8. Okay, so in 2013, ticket prices were probably $8. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so there's that one, and that's it. So you survived making some graphs. I hope I did okay with you on doing everything on the board here. If you need help, obviously just let me know, and take your time. You'll just need a straight edge and a protractor for homework, I think, and I think that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one. Like and subscribe.